Hey guys, what's going on? It's King Clutch here, and today guys, we're back on the NBA 2K20. I hope you guys are all having a great day and everything's going well for you. Today what we're doing is I'm going to be showing you guys how you can create Trae Young here in NBA 2K20, guys. So we are obviously going to make this build here a point guard, right-handed, jersey number 11. And I want to say real quick, I want to apologize if this video goes out after midnight today. I'm going to try to get this out before midnight as quick as I possibly can. Now, when it comes to the skill breakdown, I'm just going to say this. I had this for my Curry build, and this is subjective, I feel like, to how you want to do this. If you want to create a build that can shoot lights out, you're going to want to go pure shooting. But if you want a build that can dribble as well, because to me there's a difference of 11 on your shooting stats. So if you feel like you want to be able to green from anywhere, you want to go shooting. But if you also want to be able to dribble and be with the ball, you're going to want to go with this one here. It's just my opinion. You realistically, if you're making more of a park build, you're going to want to go playmaking and shooting. So that's what we're going to go, because that's what I feel like Trae Young is. He's a playmaker. He's a shooting. He can shoot the ball. He's, an all-around offensive player. He's an offensive threat. I would say is go with this one here, which is the shooting and the playmaking pie chart. When it comes to this physical profile, again, I feel like for this guard build, this is my opinion. When you're creating shooting and dribbling guard builds, you're probably going to want to go pure speed. If you're creating anything where you want to be more athletic and be able to, be an athletic player, kind of like Giannis or LeBron or something like that, you'd most likely want to go balanced or with the speed in the vertical pie chart. But since this build, I just primarily want to shoot. Getting to the rim isn't my primary focus. I'm going to go pure speed, which is going to give me a 90 speed, 88 excel at 70 vertical, and a 50 strength. Now, I know the strength isn't high, but for this build, you're not concerned about your strength. You just want to go, pure speed. So we're going to go with that one here to give ourselves the highest speed possible, because that's our main thing. Now, when it comes to these attributes, again, this is my opinion. Creating guard builds, you usually want to max out the same things. We're going to max out our close shot, our driving layup, and our driving dunk. Now, what I'm going to do is take this standing dunk up to when we can get 5 finishing badges out of 29, just so we can get that 5th finishing badge. Now, I'm going to go ahead and max out all these shooting stats. Again, to me, that's obvious. You're going to want to do that. And if you can't touch these, you're going to go down. You can touch your 3-point, but you're not going to want to lower that. You can touch your mid-range. Again, you're not going to want to lower those. Let's playmaking. I want to max out my pass accuracy, my ball handle. Now, the post moves is what you can, this is subjective. What you could do is max this out to give yourself 23 playmaking badges, bring it to a 76. Still gives you your 23rd. And then with these last 96 points, throw them on perimeter D, lateral quickness, steal, and then defensive rebound. Now you're like, I only have 1 defensive badge, and you're like, what if I want more? So what I would do is bring this down. I would take it all the way down to get 21 playmaking badges. I feel like that's enough. Now what you could do, that brings your post moves down, or 56. With these last 20, what you can do is throw these on your defensive rebound, and then that's going to give you 3 defensive badges, and I feel like that's a little bit better than having 1. But if you'd prefer to have those other playmaking badges, you can easily do that. That's just kind of comes down to a preference of if you'd rather have 1 defensive badge or not. So I'm going to leave it like this, giving me 5 finishing, 22 shooting, and 21 playmaking, and then 3 defensive badges. But if you want, you can take that defensive rebound away and just throw them on post moves if you'd like. But that's what I would do. For the body shape, again, this doesn't really matter. It's more what you want your player to look like. I feel like for a Trae Young, he'd probably be compact. That's what I'm going to do, but this doesn't matter. You could pick whatever, body shape you prefer on your players. We're going to go with that. Now for the height, guys, Trae Young online, he is listed as 6'1". I'm going to make this build 6'1". If you're making this build for a park player, I would just go ahead and make it 6'5". That's what I would do. That's like the beta height for all guards this year. So if you're playing for more park, go 6'5". But if you want to make close to Trae Young as you can, just go 6'1". And again, that's just more preference. Like if you're going to go park, you want to go hardcore with this build, I'd go 6'5". But if you want to go more just, like Trae Young, go 6'1". His weight is listed as 180 pounds, and that is what I would actually do for this weight, because if you go down to 179, you get a 1 boost to your vertical, you don't lose anything. But once you hit 178, you get 1 boost to your excel, but you lose a strength. Now realistically, what you could do is I could go 180, or you could go 178. I feel like that's a good weight to go, because you do get that boost to your excel if you want that 92 acceleration. I'm just going to go 180, but 178 is also a really, really good option. We're going to go 180 for the weight. Trae Young's wingspan online, guys, it is listed as 74 inches, so that would be all the way down to here, this 73.9. That's the closest we can get. So this is a second for minimum. Now realistically, if you're going to go 73.9, you might as well go minimum. I'm just going to go minimum because that gives us a +4 to our shooting stats. That way it's more beneficial. We lose 1 extra in our steal, but again, I feel like your steal rating in 2K doesn't really matter. If you can time it right, you're pretty much set. This would be his actual wingspan, which is closest to it at the 73.9, but I'm just going to go 73 inches to give ourselves that +4 in our shooting stats, but you can easily go 73.9. It really doesn't matter, and honestly, if you want, you could leave it right here at 77.4, which is the median one, but it doesn't end up making too much of a difference. I'm just going to minimize it because I feel like we want to shoot with this build, and we also want to be able to dribble, so we're going to go with that. Now we get these 4 takeover options, so I feel like for a Trae Young build, slashing takeover would not be the one I would pick, but if you want to make a cheesy player, go ahead and pick slashing take. Playmaking takeover is a really good option, so is shot creating and spot up shooter. Now me personally, out of these takeovers, I would suggest picking playmaking or spot up shooter. Me personally, I don't like shot creating take that much. Like a Trae Young build though kind of represent shot creating. It could really, you can make a case for any three of these. I'm gonna go spot up shooter. I feel like that's what defines Trae, but you can make an argument for playmaking. It comes down to what you prefer. I'm just gonna go spot up shooter because I want to be able to shoot really well with this build, but you can make an argument for shot creating, playmaking, or spot up shooter. Again, that would be more what you want to play like and who you're playing with and how you want to play 2K this year, how you want to, you know, play with your play style. But we're gonna go spot up shooter takeover. And then for this build, guys, we are going to get an offensive threat similar to Trae Young, Kyrie Irving, and Steve Nash. I would say takeover, again, that just comes down to your personal opinion on how you like to play. But that's what I would do for this build, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys these badges that I would throw on this build. So when it comes to these defensive badges, I'm going to put Intimidator on silver and Clamps on bronze. Now, again, I feel like Intimidator is the best overall defensive badge. Alter everybody's shots, and I feel like that's the most versatile badge. It can be used anywhere, whether you're in the paint or out on the wings. I would say Intimidator is the badge to use, but you could make an argument. You could throw Clamps up higher. Interceptor would be a good badge. Pick Dodger and Pickpocket would also be some good choices, but this is what I would do. Could take any of these realistically. But I feel like Intimidator is the one you're going to want. And then Clamps, you could almost swap for Interceptor if you want to feel like you're going to play passing lanes a lot. Go ahead. Do these finishing badges, guys. I'm going to put Contact Finisher on silver. I feel like that's a badge you're going to want. It's a great badge to have this year. You know, it's just obviously you want to get contact dunks. You're not going to be able to get the actual contact dunk animations with this build, but overall you can, you know, still try to get some good dunks at the rim. Now I'm going to put Fancy Footwork on silver just with how cheesy the hop and Euro steps are this year. That's just my opinion. You should use this badge if you can. Now with this last badge upgrade, what you could do is throw one of these up to gold if you'd like, or you could put Consistent, Giant Slayer, Relentless, or Slithery Finisher on bronze. I'm going to put Giant Slayer on bronze, but again, you could easily throw that on any of those four or throw one of those up to gold if you want. I'm just going to put it there. There's some other options you guys could do for those. To these shooting badges, I'm going to put Quick Draw on silver. Again, that's my opinion. That's where I like Quick Draw. You can put it wherever you'd like. This doesn't really matter. I feel like whatever you're used to for a jump shot speed, just put it there. Now I'm going to put Range Extender on Hall of Fame. I feel like that's a no-brainer. You're obviously going to want that. Every build that you can, you're going to want to throw on Range Extender. It helps space out the floor. I'm going to put difficult shots here on gold. I feel like a Trae Young build, difficult shots. You can shoot runners from twos. You know, if you're shooting threes too, that should help out. Put Deadeye on gold. I feel like Deadeye is a good badge to have. Overall, you know, it just helps you shoot the ball in general. I'm going to put Catch and Shoot on bronze and Corner on bronze. Again, those are my opinion. Some people think those badges are placebos. Me, I like having them. It's better to use them than not have them. Trae Young build would have Clutch Shooter, but I'm not going to put it on here because some people say it doesn't work. I feel like it actually might work if you put it on in bronze, you know, use it in rec, but depends on how your play style is. If you play Park, you probably won't use this much. I'm going to put Hot Zone Hunter on gold, and again, if you don't have any Hot Zones, don't use Hot Zone Hunter. It just makes sense. But if you have it, you're better off using it. And I'm going to also put Green Machine here on gold. I feel like that's another good badge to use. Now, what you could do is, I feel like with this build, you're going to be shooting a lot, so Volume Shooter would be a good badge to have. I'm going to throw that on. But there's plenty of other these. You could hire some of these other gold badges, or maybe use Corner or Catch and Shoot higher if you like those. But this is what I would do for these shooting badges, guys. Now, when it comes to these playmaking badges, Handles for Days on Hall of Fame is a no-brainer. Quick First Step on a Hall of Fame, and Space Creator on Hall of Fame. Like, those are badges you're going to want. Space Creator especially to help create space with step backs and things when you're shooting the ball. Again, this comes down to who you're playing with. I would say you'd want to use Floor General or Dimer. I'm going to use Floor General, but I'd imagine this build is going to be your primary guard. You would probably want to use Floor General, but if not, you don't need to use it. If somebody else has it, don't use Floor General. Then I would say put Dimer on probably gold or something. I would say you'd want some sort of a support badge if you're with the main playmaking, the main guard on your team. I would say use Floor General, but again, you don't need it. Now, with these last five, what I would do is, if you're making this build with Playmaking Takeover, I put Ankle Breaker on gold. But if you're not, I would not use it because it's pointless, because you can't really catch angles. You can make people stumble, but you can't make anybody fall if you don't have Playmaking Takeover, so why would you use it? But if you use Playmaking Takeover, then I would probably not have as many defensive badges and use more playmaking badges, because you want to add Ankle Breaker to your list of badges you've got. Also going to put Bailout on bronze. I feel like Bailout is a good badge to have. You're better off using it, putting it on bronze than not having it. There's a big difference of, you know, you throwing passes out of bounds, having it versus not. So we're going to throw it on there. Now, since we have Floor General, I'm not going to use Dimer, but if you don't have one, I would use the other. Now, I'm also going to put Downhill on bronze. I feel like Downhill is kind of a slept-on badge this year. I feel like it works, and especially any boosts of speed you can get in transition will help. So we're going to use that. Now, with these last ones, you could make an argument for multiple badges here. I would say you could use Lob City Passer if you feel like, you know, you can't throw lobs consistently. That's a good option. You could use Flashy Passer if you want to help get your takeovers quicker. That's a good choice. But with these last three, I'm just going to put Stop and Go Tight Handles and Unpluckable all on bronze. I feel like those badges, you can throw on, and they'll work just fine on bronze. There's no point really putting them higher. You could throw them up to silver if you'd like. These are just some options and some opinions on some badges that I would throw on this Trae Young build, guys. And this is a great overall build. It's a play shot, an offensive threat, whatever you'd like to call it, build that is similar to how Trae Young plays, guys. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, guys. We are going to be having a lot more of these NBA 2K20 builds, and if you guys want to see NBA 2K21 builds, please also subscribe to the channel, guys. But anyways, it's been King Clutch here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, and peace out, guys. Thanks.